Holy crap, the boogeyman is real.
Check it out. Check it out.
All right, guys, so thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to Security Guard Command. So I want to talk about something that is not very well known, but actually impacts our jobs as security officers. And that something is solar flares. And you're like right now, hold up, wait a minute. You're going way out there. No, actually I'm not going way out there. It's actually very well documented. There's a lot of studies that have been done. In fact, nih.gov has several articles on this topic in the medical publications, and I'm going to explain it a little bit. So basically, what happens is the sun ends up having what's called a sunspot, and then it erupts into a solar flare, which releases a whole lot of electromagnetic radiation, and that radiation heads towards Earth. And when it hits the Earth, it hits the ionosphere, which charges it with particles and creates a lot of electromagnetic disturbances. Some solar flares in history have actually been known to cause blackouts. Back in the days when telegraph was used, the electromagnetic radiation would jump into the wires of the telegraph and then cause sparks to jump off of the equipment in people's offices. It started fires. And believe it or not, it actually interferes with the electromagnetic field that our own bodies generate. And it causes all sorts of issues. People experience headaches. They experience heart arrhythmias. They experience behavioral changes. And the list goes on and on. It's a long list of things that this causes. And so when there's a massive solar flare and it hits Earth, you can expect the behavioral issues to increase. There were some studies done to look at the number of admissions to a psych facility during solar flares, and they did find a lot of correlations between solar flare activity and admissions to mental facilities. So as security officers, this is something that we can use as sort of as like a weather, like a weather prediction or a forecast. So when you see a forecast for a solar flare to hit the Earth, you can expect for your shift during that time to be a little wild. And I can account for that. I can definitely say that is true. Just this last week alone, several solar flares hit the Earth, and behavioral issues were at an all-time high. And so, I think if you guys were to look at it and compare when solar flares happen to the days that you were extremely busy as a security officer on site, you're going to see that there's definitely a correlation. This also ties into the same concept as a full moon. And there are some scientific reasons why a full moon would actually cause people to behave erratically, and part of it has to do with the position of a large mass, which is the moon, which has its own gravitational pull, which is very, very minor, very slight, but just enough to cause an effect, and it is slightly measurable, just like it causes tides to come in and out based on the position of the moon. Same thing with the human body. And it has to do with the oppositional force of the gravity of the sun. And so when you've got the sun on one side of you and you've got the moon on the other side of you, you've got oppositional gravitational forces pulling, and it actually causes things to change in our bodies. And some of the things that change in our bodies are the enzymes and the bacteria that are in our gut. They are affected by the gravitational changes, and they tend to cause digestion to change. And it's been said a lot of times that our gut is our third or is our second brain. And it's true. There's a lot of things that happen that are connected between our gut and our brain. And so it stands to reason that these sort of changes in our physiology affect our behavior. And so keeping an eye on these type of things, and like this full moon and the solar flares, definitely are worth it as a security guard to expect things to be different that day. You'll see changes in people's behavior, and it just ties in with situational awareness. The situation being either a solar flare or the full moon, and acting accordingly. And when you are able to predict and expect erratic behavior to come towards you, that puts you in a better position to be in a good defensive position and be prepared. So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there, a little bit of something interesting that I have noticed. I'm going to put a link to to one of the articles in the nih.gov website that talks about the effects of solar flares on human physiology. So anyway, I will catch you guys later. Have a great day and stay safe.